I thought I was going to do live at the sewing machine today, but well, let me just give everybody a minute to get in. Um, Cold and drizzling, so I made homemade chicken vegetable soup. Ooh, maybe yes. Maybe I'll make minestrone soup for supper. I think that's what I'm going to do. Ah, it's too late. Too late. It's too late to start it, so maybe we'll have that tomorrow. But we had a roast beef last night. And, well, I'm really looking forward to, you know what Arthur said? He said he's going to have more quilts than me. I said, son, when you have a baby, you're not the baby anymore. I'll give everybody time to watch your commercials, and I'm going to finish that top today, and then I'm going to take my wool shop quilt off the frame because Easter's in less than 2 weeks, and Bubba's getting that quilt for that. It's his summer quilt. He has a winter quilt, but he also, when he's at Arthur's, he also has like a crib with one side down that's like a toddler bed. And the quilt I made him for winter's too big. It's made for a bed, right? So I'm just gonna keep talking here and stuff. But tomorrow I'll probably go live while I'm tying it. A lot of my stuff's going to be live these days. Okay. I can only stay about 15 minutes, but glad I'm able to catch a few minutes of your live. Hi, Charles. I'll say hi to everybody else in a minute. I'm glad you could stop by, sweetheart. Did y'all get my little short that I showed you, the quilt top and the plants? Somebody said they didn't hold out much hope for my ponytail palm, but did you see it? He's like, he's not Mr. Wilson anymore, a balding old man. He's Marty with dreads. Well, I just that quilt top just turned out that way. How you doing, Linda? When is your mother's funeral, honey? Oh no, I did follow Simply Sarah. What? What's wrong with Simply Sarah? No, really? Oh. Did they say what? Did they I love Simply Sarah. What happened? Hey, Barbara. Okay, Linda, thank you. Oh, that's terrible. Simply Sarah's was awesome. Do you know, you're on here long enough and you start losing people. We've lost, personally, we lost Malka. We lost Dallas Red. We lost Lady B. We lost Miss Gloria moving on 04. You know, and uh, oh, she was on I bet you she had the C and they put her on a ventilator because they're still using. If you think you've got the C, don't go to the hospital because they haven't changed how they treat it. Well, I hope, well, may she rest in peace. That's terrible. Well, one day, folks, hopefully it'll be somebody else sitting here going, oh, Mrs. Fulfy, I loved her. That's terrible. Huh. Well, thank you, Catherine. Thank you. She passed away yesterday. Well, there you go. I wish, I got to set it up so that someday Howie can make a video because I you can't say because I always expect to go first, but you can't say. I mean, I look at my brother Bob and his wife, and she was, I don't know, double digits older than him, and he passed first. Um, so this is what's going on between now and the garden going in. Purging of fabric. We're still making quilt. We're going to make quilt tops. This one just has to be finished because it's Easter. Easter's coming, and I got to get it to Bubba. Hey, Linda McDonough, how's it going? McDonough. I'm not sure how I'm saying it. That's so sad. That's so sad. Well, what we've got going on today is Howie's home because, oh God, I can't tell you. A long time ago, okay, our dishwasher, we did not know, or went out to a gray pot. So when Howie fixed that, but the pipe going to the septic is in the basement ceiling now. And at one point, we didn't realize that the pipe had no decline on it because it's in the basement, right? So it has a straight pipe running through the ceiling. It has to run through the ceiling because it's a septic, right? And at one point, the filter got taken out of my dishwasher and not put back in properly. And because the pipe is flat running through the ceiling from the kitchen to the back, Howie had to cut a section out of the pipe because food built up into that long pipe and blocked it. And there was no getting it out. It was too far down the pipe. So Howie had to cut open the ceiling, take a section out of the pipe, snake it out, and then redo it. And then refix the pipe. Howie? Come here a minute. Because I thought it might have been the dishwasher. But Howie went downstairs last night and there was water dripping from the ceiling in that area. How? Come here. Well, stand on the other side of the curtain. What was it that happened to which pipe? What happened with the pipe? Okay, come back, come to the door and explain this. It's above the kitchenette in the basement.
Yeah, it's where we tied into the pipe.
You can poke your head through the door. No one's going to see anything. My box is in the way.
The old fridge that had the water supply.
Yeah, never buy a second-hand fridge that has an ice maker.
That has nothing to do with it. Anyway, it puts pressure on the pipe, and you turn in the screw, and it pokes a hole in it. But it's supposed to be sealed with a little rubber gasket. So what's happened over time is, and we increased the water pressure.
We increased the water pressure.
So
yep.
It's putting more pressure on the horrible little seal. But in time, you lose copper, and it
shrinks.
It crushed in that area and put a hole. So that made a hole, and then I fixed that hole this morning. And when I finished the compression joint, I broke another piece of pipe that was like really thin further in the wall. So I had to go to the
hardware store
twice to get parts, and I got it fixed.
Excellent. Now, the floor that you just put down, the vinyl, the vinyl lino that you just put down and you sealed all around the edges, saved the floor from further damage.
Yes.
Excellent job.
What I just got to do is fix the drywall that got buggered up.
Right. Good job, baby. So, thank God. Yes, he just fixed the basement, and we put lino down because he fixed that floor because of a leak from before. Remember, it was a water cooler you know, things like that don't work out here because we have calcium and lime, and it builds up, mostly calcium, and it builds up. And what happens is things that are supposed to close don't close properly anymore, and then you get leaks. So for us, no fridge with an ice maker, no water coolers. Hell, we still need to buy a new dehumidifier. So, huh? Yes, we do need one. So, I mean, because the cooler leaked and then the dehumidifier wouldn't shut off, Howie had to replace a whole section of that flooring down there, as you saw. But we got we got linoleum this time because we thought it's easier. It's easier to keep watertight, right? So Howie had to pull up all that floor spray. There's a mold killer he had to use and all that stuff. Put the floor back down, put the lino down, and then sealed all around the edges of the lino. Thank God. Because this leak would have mean he would have had to pull up the entire floor at this point if he hadn't fixed it already. What a day! What a day for a daydream. So you're not getting a video on that because he's pissed off enough that it's bad enough he had to take the day off work. I wasn't going to ask him to record what he was doing in an emergency situation to fix things. So that's what's going on today. What's going on? What did I miss? All right. Now, I'm going to pop out the chat in a minute. Everybody say hi. Okay. All right. Everybody say hi. I know. What would I do without Howie? I tell you time and again, anything ever happened to him, I could not live in this house. Not even with, say, one of my sons, like not even with Briar. Because, Howie's the original Mr. Fix-It, right? Now, do you remember me saying last week, I think I was doing a live stream, and I've been exhausted. It's been a long 15 months. You remember me talking about that? In that live stream, I turned a corner and I went bang and I woke up again. And I think what's going on now is that I have turned a corner. I've come out of like a 16-month slump where it has been just taking everything I have to keep showing up every day, not just for you, but for myself and my family. And then last week, I think it was, we were on a live stream and I went, hey, I just turned a corner and I could feel it. The energy was coming back. Now, here's what's happening, okay? I don't know if when I move this bedroom, when I move into this room, here's something I'm really excited about. My head of my bed is either going to be facing south or east. Since we've lived in this house, the bed has always had the head faced west. And it's a feng shui thing. So I'm actually going to but here's what I want to tell you. For the longest time, because I'm an insomniac. Now, being an insomniac comes with its own hurdles, right? That we found first week moving in our home, we had an inspection. No way that seller was not aware. Now fixes on us. Oh, I hate it when that happens. What was I talking about? Shh. I shouldn't glance at the chat. I'll remember it in a minute. Oh, yeah, I turned a corner. So recently, I don't know what is causing it. I'm just grateful. Recently, I've been sleeping. And I've got to tell you, me turning a corner is a result of me actually getting restorative sleep for the first time in years. Years I've not been getting restorative sleep. Even when I would crash for like 7 hours, it's like my body gets a couple of extra eggs in the basket, but the basket still goes down just as fast, right? So I've been getting restorative sleep. So even though I'm in pain, I'm functional again. I don't know if you guys noticed how badly unfunctional I've been for over a year. All right, let me pop out the chat, the participants list, and say hello. Hi, Nat, Barbara Davis, Kimmy Blackrock, Bumfluff, Better Normal. Hello, Bumfluff. Catherine Monique Monteith, Charles Bauer, Diana247, Fru Slinger, Juby Bijou, Kathy Ponder, Linda Bopp. Hi, ladies. Minnesota Farmer's Wife, Julie, Sherry Leach. Hi, darling. Sybil versus Lori, and Unbridled Creation. How's everybody doing? So let me just pop out this chat. Here we go. And then we'll put it on live chat. So, it's more than just, hi, Susie B. It's more than just turning a corner. It's almost like I've been given a new lease on life. All of a sudden, I'm gonna change bedrooms, and it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take probably a month. Okay. But I got started. And it was like it killing me. My back was freaking out. And then last week I just kind of went, bing. And I went, okay, here's what I'm going to do. So I started emptying the fabric dressers and washing the fabric. And then I went, Bev, don't do that. Why? Because I'm sorting through them. Pitch it, keep it, quilt it. If it's going to get pitched, why would I wash it? So I'm going through the stuff. I got one quilt top just about ready to be quilted, but that's tied, but that's for Bubba, right? That's his summer quilt. And then I'm just going to start making quilt tops. Boom, 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 boom. And when I have them done, then I go through the linen cupboard for backs and blankets and all that stuff. And anything that doesn't fit on a bed, it isn't a quilt, is not going back in that linen cupboard. But here's the deal. I actually woke up earlier, like a few days ago, thinking, I may just get this done. I never have any hope of finishing projects once I start them. But somehow I feel like this is going to get accomplished. It may take longer, but I'm getting better sleep. And when I move into this room, I know my sleep's going to be even better. Right? So... a lack of sleep. It's not just that, too. It's when you sleep, your body, your brain, everything defrags and reboots. That's where they got that from on the computer for defragging, cleaning, disk cleaning and defragging. That they know that because that's what our body and our brain does when we go to sleep. The brain, defrags and reboots, and our spirit trips the light fantastic while we sleep. Just a little at a time. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's kind of what's going on. At some point, I'm going to be transplanting leeks. You know what, Alicia? I really needed it. I really needed it. Like how he, and I think it's because also Gracie is sleeping better. I give her a little bit of medicated butter. And I'm talking just a little tiny, enough just to cover the tip of my finger. And I go, and I put it in her mouth like that. Once she's in bed and covered up, and she just like, yeah. Between her pain meds and that, she just doesn't move all night almost. So, hi, Joanna. Well, they say that no one ever died of a lack of sleep. That's not true. There was a professor once that had a rare form of insomnia where he got no sleep at all. It killed him after 2 years. It killed him after 2 years. He lived with it for 2 years by, resting in dark rooms and meditation and all that stuff. He could not sleep. But by the time he died, he was a crippled old man, because sleep is where everything shuts down, except your organs, of course, but everything goes into rest mode so that it can restore, injured tissue. It can restore, all kinds of stuff. But if you don't get that rest and reboot, it's going to kill you eventually. Yeah, it killed him. There was one guy who did a test who he wanted to see how far he could go without sleep and what it would do, sleep deprivation. And he went 8 days. And he said he was never the same afterwards. He went through a psychological, because he said after so many days, he was recording it. He said, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my shoes and they're full of maggots, crawling maggots, and I've got to put my shoes on. I know there's no maggots there. I know I'm hallucinating, but yeah, our bodies are miracles. This is why I don't understand why people who don't believe, there's that word, the people don't understand what our higher power means, what God means. You try and design something like this, blindfolded, never having seen, right? You create this. You be a baby, okay? Be a newborn who's raised in darkness with no sound, no sight, no taste. Raise that baby in that environment and then tell it to create a rose. You know what I mean? Only God got that kind of stuff. I honestly think that nothing happens by accident. And it's not coincidence. It's God. I call it God incidence, right? So I used to go days without sleep and then wondering why the dog was waving at me by the fire hydrant. I went to bed. That was too long without sleep stress. Well, I've gone days where I've had like power naps, an hour power nap or 2 hour power nap in the sick room at college or high school, right? But because I could. I've always been an insomniac. Always been an insomniac. I think my sister's an insomniac too, but she's the opposite. When she goes down to sleep, you can't wake her up. She'll go 20 hours. She'll go 20 hours with the phone ringing and people banging on the door, I used to go days without sleep and wondering, yeah, exactly, right? So there's a reason why everything is supposed to operate as it does. There's a reason why, we're supposed to have sleep. And I'd like to meet the person who decided that time could be cut up so that it could be used to make people into slaves. Wow, that statement came out. Because if you think about it, right? We have time carved up for work. We have time carved out for recreation. We have time carved out for sleep. We have time carved out for meals. That's control. That's control. It wasn't always this way. get a 2-hour nap and do it again for weeks, then sleep for 2 days. Oh my God, Nat. The modern light bulb. I'm really glad you mentioned that. Um, the modern. I'm slowly switching back to incandescent, but after the summer because I haven't seen my hydro bill go down. Right since I switched to LED, but if you look at on a light meter, compact fluorescents go and LEDs go and incandescent bulbs go whoo, 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 because that's how. And what happens is LEDs and compact fluorescents interfere with the synapses in your brain. Now, I'm not a doctor. I don't, you're going to have to do your own research. Don't quote me, but I'm telling you, look up the effects of LED, compact fluorescence, and incandescent lights on your brain. Okay? It's disruptive. They're disruptive. Incandescent lights are natural light. It's the closest you can get to candles. You know what I mean? And radiation. Yeah. Hey, Missy Royer. Had to order them on eBay. Absolutely impossible to find incandescent in stores. Well, when they started outlawing them, I started stocking up. Because if I wanted to build an incubator, I needed a 100-watt bulb. Right? So, hi, Skippy Jones. How's it going? Jennifer, hey, how's it going? So, I've got incandescent bulbs. Like when we have that stained glass light that hangs in our window, I have an incandescent yellow bug light in there. Why? Well, white is too harsh. Any other color is just not right. And yellow is soft, lets us see around the room, but it doesn't disrupt our TV watching and stuff. Now, here's what's wild is the light burned out, and I put an LED yellow light in there, and I couldn't stand it. It just, yeah. And I remember the first time LED Christmas light strings were coming out, and we went to visit my brother in Toronto, and he had blue LED lights going up the railing of his stairs, and the lights seemed to vibrate. And Briar looks at them and goes, woo, and Billy goes, yeah, they vibrate your eyes. And I'm thinking, why is that a good thing? How can that be a good thing? Hey, Bonnie. I use twinkle lights around the house. Can't handle the overhead lights. See, I have overhead lights. We have LED overhead lights in the living room, but we only use them for, like, if we have a big job to do or we're all sitting around opening presents and it's nighttime or something like that. But I'm a lamp person. I'm a lamp person. On video, they flash. Well, these should be flashing, but they're not. Isn't that wild? Huh. When I used used to use the webcam, they would flash. You could see it. So, hey, Dave Smith, where have you been? How's Arizona today? Must be getting hot up there. They are on your end? They're flashing on your end? Yeah. So, okay. All righty. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go and work on taking the quilt off of the frame and putting it away for now. The wool shop quilt. I managed to get some done on it. And then I'm going to, but before I do that, I'm going to go and finish the quilt top for Bubba's quilt. They do flash. Huh. Hi, Deborah. I see you flashing. So yeah, it's going to be a lot about plants, and everything's going to be quilts, quilts, quilts. If I do a leftover makeover meal and throw it in there, great. But This summer and everything, it's all going to be about moving this room into the office or into the other room and moving my bedroom into here, gardening and quilting and canning and all that stuff. That's all I have energy for. There will be live streams because I'm going to be doing a lot of this stuff when I should be making videos. That's why you're getting live streams. Did I figure out a pattern with the squares? It's weird. I just picked children's fabrics that I had. I'm going through my drawers and I'm picking fabrics that I need to use up. I'm going through my fabric because I'm purging. I got 2 dressers of fabric. I want to go down to 1 dresser of fabric. So I'm purging. I'm pitching it. I'm going through those dressers, pitch it, quilt it, keep it. Because some fabric I'm going to be keeping for future projects, right? So I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I'm going to go and get working on finishing Bubba's quilt top, and then I'm going to get it on the frame. And then tomorrow I'll show it to you on the frame and we'll do a live tying of it. I'm not quilting it. I'm tying it because it's his Easter present. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you tomorrow. Mwah! Oops. Poke. Poke.